Let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like you're meant for more, but somehow you're stuck living a life that's just okay? You're not broken, you're not lazy. You've just been trapped. Trapped by average expectations, trapped by comfort, trapped by a world that wants you soft, distracted, and obedient. Most men don't fail because they're weak. They fail because they settle. They choose easy. They choose later. They choose average, without even realizing it. But not you. You wouldn't be here if you were like most men. This video, it's not entertainment. It's a mirror. And by the time we're done, you'll see every habit that's been holding you back and how to break them. This is the start of something different. This is where average ends and your real life begins. Most men don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they're addicted to comfort. They choose the warm bed over the cold grind, the easy scroll over the difficult discipline, the weekend escape over the weekday work. Why? Because comfort feels safe. But here's the truth no one wants to say. Comfort is the enemy of greatness. The gym hurts. Reading is boring. Waking up early is brutal. But you know what's worse? Regret. The pain of looking back at a life half-lived. Because you always chose what was easy instead of what was necessary. The strongest version of you? He's buried under every skipped workout, every "I'll do it tomorrow," every time you hit snooze. Comfort is a slow death. And every time you choose it, you trade potential for peace. But it's a false peace. The 1%, they don't avoid discomfort. They hunt it. They use it to grow, to sharpen, to rise. So ask yourself, do you want ease today or pride tomorrow? Because you can't have both. Let me tell you something that most men never realize. Every time you blame someone else, you're giving away your power. Blaming your boss, blaming your past, blaming your parents, blaming your circumstances. It feels good in the moment. It removes the weight from your shoulders, but it also removes the control from your life. See, great men don't avoid responsibility. They hunt it down. They say, "This is on me. I will fix it." Even if it wasn't their fault, even if it's unfair, even if it's heavy, because the moment you claim responsibility, you reclaim control. Weak men wait for someone to rescue them. Strong men become the one who rescues themselves. You were not born to stay stuck in excuses. You were born to rise through them. So ask yourself, when things go wrong, do you point fingers or do you build solutions? Because that moment defines the kind of man you are. Most men aren't failing because they're weak. They're failing because they have no direction. They wake up, go through the motions, react to life instead of designing it. They're not lazy, they're lost. You can't hit a target you haven't defined. You can't build a legacy you haven't envisioned. Vision is the difference between drifting and dominating. It's what wakes you up early. It's what keeps you disciplined when no one's watching. It's the reason behind the grind. Without vision, every distraction looks like an option. Every easy path feels tempting. And worst of all, you trade your life for nothing in return. But a man with a vision, he's dangerous. Because once you know where you're going, you stop following and start leading. Let's be honest. Most men don't think about their health until their body starts breaking down. They grind, they hustle, they chase goals, but they treat their body like it's disposable. Fast food, no sleep, zero movement. They act like they can just buy energy later, like success will fix the damage they've been ignoring. But here's the truth. Discipline means nothing when your body gives up on you. What's the point of building an empire if you don't live long enough to enjoy it? 1% know this. They treat their body like a foundation, not an afterthought. They train, not for six-pack abs, but for longevity, energy, and strength under pressure. They sleep like warriors in recovery. They eat like every bite fuels their mission. Because they know health is the real flex. It's not about looking good for Instagram. It's about showing up, full power, when it actually counts. And the longer you ignore your body, the more it starts ignoring you. You've got one body, one vehicle, one shot. Treat it like the machine that will carry your mission forward, or don't. and watch everything else fall apart with it. We live in a world addicted to speed, quick likes, fast money, overnight fame, and most men fall for the trap. They chase shortcuts, schemes, and surface-level success. They want six-pack abs in 30 days. They want wealth with zero discipline. They want respect without the grind. But here's the truth. Anything built fast usually falls apart faster. The men who last, they think decades, not days. They know mastery isn't a destination you reach. It's a path you walk, every single day. They're not obsessed with being seen. They're obsessed with becoming undeniable. While others chase applause, they chase excellence. Because real success, it compounds. It stacks slowly, in silence, in early mornings, in late nights, in reps no one claps for. So ask yourself, do you want to win for a moment or dominate for a lifetime? Let's be real. Most men today are drowning in consumption. They scroll, watch, click, repeat. Hours gone, ideas absorbed, but nothing is created, nothing is built. You see, there's a difference between feeding your mind and flooding it. Podcasts, videos, motivation. They're tools, not replacements for action. The men who rise, they learn just enough. Then they move. While others binge content, they build content. While others save ideas, they execute ideas. Your greatness isn't hiding in the next reel. It's buried under your excuses. If you're always consuming, ask yourself, when was the last time I produced something that challenged me? Wrote something, built something, shared something that made me uncomfortable? If the answer is, I can't remember, you're stuck in the loop, the comfort of secondhand power. It's time to flip the switch. Consume less, create more, make, share, building and become the man who leads, not just watches. You don't need another video, you need a reason to start. Let's talk about a silent killer of greatness. Validation, the need for applause, the craving for approval, the obsession with being seen. It's why so many men never rise. They do what's safe. They post what gets likes. They speak only when they know it'll be accepted. But let me tell you the truth. Validation is a drug, and the more you chase it, the weaker you become. Because here's what most never realize. The most powerful moves you'll ever make are the ones made in silence. When no one's clapping, when no one's watching, when no one even knows your name, you show up anyway. That's where real power is built. The average man needs recognition to act, but the uncommon man, he becomes dangerous when no one's watching. He knows if you need applause to keep going, you'll crumble the second it goes quiet. So ask yourself this, would you still chase the dream if no one ever saw the result? Would you still build, still grind, if no one ever liked, followed, or shared? Because that's the test. Greatness is forged in private, and when it finally explodes into the world, it's not because you wanted to be seen, it's because you were too disciplined to be ignored. Let's be honest, most people don't waste time watching Netflix all day. They waste time avoiding what really matters. They stay busy, replying to messages, organizing their desktop, tweaking tiny things that make them feel productive. But they never touch the work that actually moves the needle. Why? Because the things that matter are the things that scare us most. Starting the business, having the hard conversation, committing to the habit that would change everything. So we delay. We tell ourselves, I'll do it when I feel ready. I just need a little more time. Maybe tomorrow. But tomorrow is a lie. If it matters, you must face it today. Because the longer you wait, the heavier it gets. And here's the truth. Successful men aren't fearless. They're just willing to act despite the fear. They understand one brutal reality. Later is where dreams go to die. So if you want to separate yourself from the average, you don't need to work more. You need to prioritize better. Do the hard thing first, the uncomfortable thing, the thing you've been avoiding for weeks. That's how leaders are made. In the moments no one sees, when you stop hiding and finally choose to face what matters, most people will do anything to avoid pain. They'll hide behind comfort. They'll distract themselves with noise. They'll choose easy over necessary every single time. But here's the truth most won't say out loud. Growth hurts, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, spiritually. Because real growth means something has to die. Your ego, your excuses, your old identity. See, the average man avoids anything that makes him uncomfortable. But the man who rises, he walks straight into the fire. Not because he likes pain, but because he knows what's on the other side. The greatest breakthroughs in your life won't come when everything is perfect. They'll come when everything is heavy, when you're broken, doubting, and ready to quit. That's when the strongest version of you is born. Because the man who avoids pain delays his greatness. But the man who faces it, he becomes unstoppable. So stop asking, how can I make this easier? And start asking, what is this pain here to teach me? Let me ask you something hard. Who are you living for? Is it the likes, the comments, the praise from people who don't even know the real you? Because here's the truth. Most men waste their best years performing for an audience. That isn't even watching. They mold themselves to fit in. They shrink to avoid judgment. They chase validation like it's oxygen and wonder why they always feel breathless. But here's what the 1% know. Approval is a prison, and your purpose is the key. You weren't made to be liked. You were made to be true, to live with integrity, to build something that outlives opinions, to walk your path even when no one claps, even when no one understands. Because if you keep bending for others, you'll break before you ever build. Let them doubt you. Let them talk. Let them walk away. You don't need their permission to rise. You need conviction. You need a reason so strong it silences the noise. You need to stop asking, what will they think? And start asking, what will I regret if I don't do this? Purpose doesn't need applause. It just needs your action. Because the men who changed the world, they weren't popular when they started, but they were powerful because they chose truth over approval and legacy over likes. Let me leave you with this. Most people will live their whole lives in the shadows of what they could have been. They'll chase approval. They'll avoid discomfort. They'll repeat the same average habits day after day, and then wonder why their life never changed. But not you, because you didn't just watch this video, you felt it. And more importantly, you're ready to do something with it. This isn't just information. This is a line in the sand. And on one side is who you've been. On the other is the man you're about to become. You're not here to live for likes. You're here to build legacy. You're not here to blend in. You're here to rise, to lead, to break the cycle. So let the world watch. Let them doubt. Because by the time they understand your mission, you'll already be unstoppable. This is Mountain Fuel. Now rise.